The best travel itinerary for Rome. Rome is the second best travel destination in the world after Iceland, and also one of the top cities to visit in the world. If you are planning your first visit to Rome and have limited time, this Rome itinerary is perfect for you. With 2 days in Rome, you have just enough time to visit the highlights. Tour the Vatican museums, enjoy the amazing view from St. Peter's Basilica, marvel at the Colosseum, get a history lesson at the Roman Forum, and stroll through the heart of Rome with its colorful piazzas and ancient historical sites. Day 1, you get to visit one of the world's most popular attractions, the Colosseum. Stroll through ancient Rome, take in the view from one of the best viewpoints in the city, and end the day with dinner with a view. For many first-time visitors to Rome, the Colosseum tops the must-do list. And why not? This is a marvel of ancient engineering. Dating back to 80 AD, this is the largest amphitheater that was ever built at the time. It could hold up to 80,000 people, spectators who were drawn here to watch gladiatorial contests, executions, animal hunts, and reenactments of famous battles. It is one of the 7 new wonders of the world. With that being said, expect big crowds at the Colosseum. For the best experience, book your tickets in advance or join a guided tour. On a visit to the Colosseum, you can also add on the arena floor, stand on a portion of the floor and gaze up at the Colosseum, the underground, tour the maze of hallways under the Colosseum, and the upper tier. The Roman Forum is the historical center of Rome. This is ancient Rome, a complex of government buildings, temples, and marketplaces from 2,000 years ago. Palatine Hill is one of the 7 hills of Rome, and it sits right next to the Roman Forum. There are several archaeological sites here, and you get a nice view over the Roman Forum. From the Colosseum, walk up Via Sacra towards the Arch of Titus to enter the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. Visit Palatine Hill first. Palatine Hill sits next to the Roman Forum. It is a complex of archaeological excavations, the remains of temples and palaces, and a museum. During the time of the Roman Republic, many imperial palaces were built here, including palaces for Augustus, Tiberius, and Domitian. While on Palatine Hill, make sure you visit Terrazza Belvedere del Palatino for a bird's-eye view of the Roman Forum and the Colosseum. It's one of the best views in Rome. Take a stroll along Via dei Fori Imperiali. This street runs between the Roman Forum and the Forum of Augustus and the Trajan Forum. Keep an eye out for Trajan's Column, which was erected in 113 AD. Via Fori dei Imperiali ends at Piazza Venezia. From here, you can climb the steps on the Altar of the Fatherland for one of the best views of Rome. The Altar of the Fatherland, also called Altare della Patria, the Victor Emmanuel II Monument, or simply the Wedding Cake, is one of the most recognizable landmarks in Rome. This national monument was built between 1885 and 1935 to honor Victor Emmanuel II, who was the first king of unified Italy. It contains the tomb of the unknown soldier and an eternal flame. For free, you can climb the series of staircases to the upper terrace and cafe. From Altar of the Fatherland and Piazza Venezia, it is a 15-minute walk to get to Piazza Navona. Piazza Navona is one of Rome's most famous squares. It is filled with cafes, fountains, and lots of people. While you are here, take a look at the 3 fountains: the Fountain of the 4 Rivers, the Fountain of Neptune, and the Fountain of the Moor. Watch the street performers and step inside Sant'Agnes in Agone. This is a good place to rest your feet for a few minutes. Once you are finished in Piazza Navona, continue the stroll through the heart of Rome. It's a quick walk to the Pantheon. The Pantheon is old, really old. The Romans were master builders, and the Pantheon is one of their most amazing accomplishments. The best part of the Pantheon is the oculus, the circular window in the top of the dome, the only source of light inside of the building. When you first walk up to it, the Pantheon looks like an ancient, bulky, worn-out building. But inside, it looks surprisingly nothing like the exterior. It's beautiful in the inside with colorful Italian marble and the very unique lighting from the oculus. Continue to the Trevi Fountain, passing by the Temple of Hadrian and Venci, one of our favorite gelato shops in Rome. The Trevi Fountain is one of Rome's most famous icons. Fendi funded the most recent renovation, which took over 1 year to complete. State-of-the-art LED lights illuminate the fountain. It is an awesome sight to see. Day 2. The first half of the day will be spent touring the Vatican museums, the Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica. Then it is a scenic walk along the Tiber River to the Villa Borghese Gardens. The day ends with a visit to one of the most important art galleries in the world. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. In Vatican City, there are 3 big sites to visit: the Vatican Museums, the Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica. The Vatican museums open at 9 a.m. On an early morning tour, you enter at 8 a.m., which allows you to see part of the museums with very low crowds. Some tours will take you directly into St. Peter's Basilica via the tunnel from the Sistine Chapel, which bypasses the enormous line to enter the cathedral. On a visit to Vatican City, you will visit these sites as two different sections. The Vatican Museums and Sistine Chapel are visited on one ticket. You will enter the Sistine Chapel through the Vatican Museums, so if you only want to see the Sistine Chapel, you will have to walk through the Vatican Museums first. St. Peter's Basilica and St. Peter's Square is the second area you will visit. It is free to enter St. Peter's Basilica, but there is a line to get through security, and from mid-morning through mid-afternoon, this line can be enormous. In St. Peter's Basilica, you have the option to climb to the dome for an additional fee. This is worth it, and you get one of the best views of Rome from the top of the dome. Stroll along Via della Conciliazione towards Castel Sant'Angelo. Turn right onto Via San Pio X and cross the Tiber River on Ponte Vittorio Emanuele II. From this bridge, you get a beautiful view of the Castel Sant'Angelo and Ponte Sant'Angelo. Continue the walk along the Tiber River, and once you get to Ponte Cavour, walk up Via di Ripetta until you get to Piazza del Popolo. This large piazza is flanked by 3 basilicas. In the center sits the Flaminio obelisk, an Egyptian obelisk of Seti I. This obelisk was brought to Rome in 10 BC and erected in this square in 1589. For the best view of Piazza del Popolo, cross the square and climb the steps to Terrazza del Pincio in the Villa Borghese Gardens. Even if you are not a big fan of art museums, or even just museums in general, the Borghese Gallery is still worth the visit. This art museum contains one of the best collections of art in the world. See works of art by Raphael, Caravaggio, Titian, and Bernini. Even the building is an attraction. To get here, stroll through the Villa Borghese Gardens. The gardens are quite large, and you will have to walk from one side to the other, which takes about 20 minutes. You can only visit the Borghese Art Gallery with a reservation. Reservations can be made up to 3 months in advance. This is how to spend a perfect 2 days in Rome. Enjoy your time in Rome.
Thanks for watching.